hello everybody and welcome. The Northwest has turned to spring, and that means spring cleaning for all of us. John and me have been working for the last 2 days cleaning it up, and we had a work weekend last weekend, the weekend before. And we're getting ready for a big weekend. We have another member probably joining the team. So, come on in. We'll talk about what we've done in the last few weeks and a little about that spring cleaning. Those of you in the Northwest, while we may have lost the Super Bowl, we won the spring race because it's 60 degrees outside and we're not in any snow. So come on in. Well, here we are at the dispatcher's desk, and there's been a few changes here. John, we're going to show you a little speed work as John did some work cleaning up the cabinet back here and getting that all set for us to install the additional monitors and everything for the beginning of JMRI. Scott Henry from DCC by Design is helping us do this. John and me made the decision that this was probably the best way to manage it. We have enough projects to deal with right here, and frankly, we could use a little professional help. So we've hired him to start the design process of the JMRI. He's helping us with signals, block detection, all those type of different things. He's actually going to be designing our boards, both the CTC panel and our control center for the staging yard, which will be controlled by our dispatcher's desk. So basically, eventually, this monitor here will be controlling our staging yard. This monitor here will be our CTC control, and this monitor right here actually is the camera system, is all connected in the staging yard so that we can actually see the trains coming into the throat of the yard and also where they're placed in there. So that's what we've kind of been dealing with in here. And as you can see from what you'll see is in the video, we've actually got this place all cleaned up. We spent a little over 6 hours here just cleaning the place up so that we can get prepared for another work session. And that's so important because when everyone comes out to work, we need to try and get things done quickly so we can make best use of our time. So thanks to John for helping me, and as we go on, we're going to show you what Sean's been working on. So come on along. Okay, as you can see here in Denver, we just basically have cleaned the area up. Not much has changed here. We're focusing on the main line as we get around here. So the buildings are kind of in a temporary place as we begin to that process of discussing what it is we're going to be doing. And so not much has changed here. We're getting ready as we come into Colorado Springs, and we'll talk about that down the road. But right now, we're sitting right here where the last video left off where the locomotives ended. And as we're coming out of Denver, this eventually will be an oil refinery right here in the end as it comes around the corner. So Sean and me have got the curve all built into here. We're going to go around and take a look at the spline work where we've actually got that all finished and complete, and we've started to lay track in there, and we're just about to Colorado Springs. So as we get there, I'll discuss the changes we're doing, plus our experiment on LED lighting. Okay, so here we are at Palmer Lake, and as you can see, the curve is curving around here, the spline is in, and what we did was we followed the same practice we were doing before. We have the homosode as our subbed. We're using the cork on top to form our profiles for our roadbed, and as we come down through here, it's a double main line. Now, I've got my hand sitting here in Palmer Lake, that's going to be in here. There'll be a hill sitting over around here, and then a very distinct mountain line here that's here in Palmer Lake, and some very often photographed water towers that are here. And as we go down to here, we're going to be heading down into Colorado Springs. But as you can see, the nice graceful curves that Sean and me have placed in here, it's turning out really well, and I'm very pleased. So here we are in Colorado Springs, and you can see as the curve begins to come into here, we're going to be entering into the yard, and we'll get into that in a minute. Sean and me took a look at some really hard designs that we were looking at in the bench work, and we decided to open this area up back in here. The main purpose is it gives us access to the throat, to the staging yard. It also happens to be where one of our cameras is located, which made it very easy for John to get it installed there, not having any bench work in the way. The table itself has not lost any stability whatsoever, but as normal model railroaders, we typically overbuild to begin with. So we've just removed some of the infrastructure that was in there, allowing plenty of room for us to reach in there and deal with any trains and also open the camera up. And as we come around into here, you can see we haven't got track quite laid into here, but that's going to introduce us to some other things that we've been working on. The other thing is we've got our last phone installed. We now have all our phone system installed and ready to go. John just has to wire it up, which will only take a few moments, and we'll then have phone systems throughout the entire layout. He'll also be doing, and I will catch it on video, him redesigning this particular power district as it needs to be cleaned up and set up and ready to go. All the wires have been pulled, everything is all ready, and so we're already in that process of discussing how we're going to do this power district. So as we go around the corner, we're going to talk about, well, you know what, instead of saying that, why don't we just go around the corner? Come on this way. So as you can see, we have the design already laid out for us, and we've been discussing this. And Sean and me came to a discussion about this is originally where the power plant was going to be right here and the yard in the back. But as Sean and me discussed it and looked at the photographs of the actual power plant, the coal plant in Colorado Springs, we discussed that possibly we needed a lot more space, and this is not anywhere near the space we needed. So the decision was made to flip the design around, and we're going to put most of the power plant on the backdrop with some reliefs, and some buildings will be sticking out. We'll move the yard over to this side into here, and so we will have our coal dump and everything close to the backdrop, and then bring the yard in close into here. So that's going to change it a little bit. The main line will come in about the middle of the table, the yard sitting closest to us, and the industrial side on the back. Now, I'm standing on a 1-foot bench, so if you're 6 foot tall, or 6'4", as you are, if John being 6'5", it's easy to reach the back. For someone at 5'4" at my height, it's a little more challenging, but that's why we have benches. And now we're going to discuss just a little bit about our new project that we've got set up here. So as you can see, we've got some LEDs. Now I have sitting up there already some fluorescent lights. And I've been looking for a way to put a valance that would just sit out free floating all around in this area that would just direct light down there. But the two questions comes, how much light do I need? So these particular LEDs are called, I'm going to probably get these wrong, but there are 3050s, and I'll correct it on the text in the video in case I got it wrong. But I have a set of warm white and a set of blue lights, and I want to show you just kind of an idea of what it does. So this is the lighting without that on there. Now, John, make sure that we're pointed into the backdrop here, okay? And so I'm going to turn this on, and you can see it actually brings quite a bit of light. And so it allows us to fill this in. We still have our regular lights on. The other thing I want to do with the valance is I want to put scant light blue lights so that when we do night operations, we still have the abilities to see and not have as much light out there. So these lights will all go down. So that's what we've been working on. Hopefully we'll have a valance design soon, as we've been discussing different options we're taking a look at, and hopefully we'll have one designed and figured out in the next video. But then again, maybe not. Who knows? But in any case, have yourself a great month. Thanks for watching the videos, and happy monitoring.